In this video, we will closely examine how the California wildfires started, beginning from the Palisades area, spreading through the Hollywood Hills, including the Sunset region, and advancing to the Hurst and Lidia fires. These areas is where most famous and rich individuals live in and lost their homes. Let me give you some examples. Kim Kardashian, Paris Hilton, Mel Gibson, Anthony Hopkins, Britney Spears, Miles Teller, which by the way lost his home just after 1 year of buying it because he was busy filming his new movie. These houses are cost millions of dollars. Just Kim Kardashian's home, for example, worth $70 million, and it was completely vanished. Anyways, over 7,500 committed workers are actively engaged in fighting the flames. The response has involved 1,162 fire engines, which provides ground support to stop and control the fire's spread. Additionally, 31 helicopters are performing water drops from the air, assisted by 6 large water tank planes to handle the most difficult to reach and intense hot spots. But most importantly, we will focus on how everything started, as explained in the upcoming parts of the video. If this is your first time watching me, please do not forget to like and subscribe. So, let's get into it. First of all, let's look more closely at the causes of the fires. To be honest, even experts have been shocked by how quickly these extremely dangerous fires have spread. By Tuesday night, January 7th, 2025, 3 huge fires have already broken out in northern Los Angeles, with additional fires beginning on Wednesday. The largest of these fires, the Palisades fire, as mentioned, started at 10:30 a.m. local time on Tuesday, January 2025. This image, taken just 15 minutes after the fire was reported, already shows how strong it had become. The fire quickly grew during the afternoon, burning through the areas between the beach towns of Santa Monica and Malibu. By midnight, it had consumed almost 2,000 acres, destroying many buildings and homes. So many, in fact, that the officials are still trying to determine the total amount of damage, and the cause of these fires has not been determined yet. But however, we do know that they were fueled by powerful and dry winds blowing from the northeast. And these winds, known as the Santa Ana winds, pick up speed as they move through the mountainous areas of Los Angeles. On weather maps, this is visible with striking bands of pink and purple, marking the areas affected by these dangerous winds. The Santa Ana winds also drastically lower humidity levels, making the land much drier and easier to catch fire. With wind speed reaching up to 60 miles per hour, the conditions are so extreme that even firefighting planes were unable to fly. Fire chiefs have described the combination of low humidity, dry land, and strong winds are creating some of the worst fire conditions imaginable. Southern California recently went through an extreme hot summer with almost no rain, even during what is supposed to be the rainy season. This map shows rainfall from the past 60 days compared to the normal amount for this time. The brown areas around Los Angeles show regions that have gotten almost no rain, leaving the ground very dry and easy to catch fire. So this mix of problems has created a very serious situation for thousands of people in Los Angeles, many of whom have had to leave their homes. These homes, which often belong to the rich and famous, were burned to the ground in just hours. This is the harsh reality that people in California are facing, as wildfires become more severe and last longer. 7 fires are being fought right now in California. The Palisades fire was first reported at 10:30 a.m., which is 6:30 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time on Tuesday, January 7th. In just 20 minutes, it grew from a small fire of 20 acres to more than 200 acres. By Wednesday night, it had spread to about 16,000 acres, and at least 30,000 people were told to evacuate their homes. The Eaton fire quickly grew to cover 1,000 acres in the first 6 hours after it started. It began in Altadena, in the hills above the Pasadena, around 6:30 p.m. local time on Tuesday. By Wednesday night, it had spread to more than 10,000 acres, and 5 deaths have been reported. The hair fire started burning just north of San Fernando at about 10 p.m. local time on Tuesday. It quickly grew to 850 acres, according to local officials, and caused evacuation orders in nearby Santa Clarita. The Woodley fire began in Woodley Park at around 16:15 a.m. local time on Wednesday. The Los Angeles Fire Department said it has now been completely contained. The Olivas fire started in Ventura County, northwest of Los Angeles, and burned around 11 acres before being completely contained. The Lidia fire started at around 2 o'clock p.m. on Wednesday in the Mount Misacton area located north of Los Angeles. The fire grew to nearly 350 acres, and by 9 o'clock p.m. it was 40% contained. The Sunset Fire started at around 6 o'clock p.m. in the Hollywood Hills, a residential area overlooking the historic Hollywood region. It currently spans approximately 50 acres, and it is 0% contained. A mandatory evacuation order is still in effect. But however, there were also significant funding issues that may have affected the firefighting efforts. A potentially leaked letter from LA Fire Chief Christine Crowley on December 7, 2025 warned Mayor Karen Bass about the consequences of recent budget cuts. According to the letter, the $17 million reduction in the department budget had greatly limited the ability to prepare for, trained for, and respond to large-scale emergencies, of course, including wildfires. This warning highlights how important sufficient funding is for staying ready to handle natural disasters and other emergencies. The letter raises important questions about how financial decisions can impact public safety, especially in a state like California, which is highly prone to wildfires. This footage shows a firefighting plane, the CL-415, which is also called the Super Scooper. It has a major advantage compared to other tanker planes because it doesn't need to land at faraway stations. The CL-415's operation begins with the plane approaching a water source. The pilot carefully steers the plane toward a suitable body of water, such as lake or a river, ensuring that the location meets the necessary safety and efficiency requirements. The approach involves precise navigation to align the plane with the water's surface, taking into account factors like wind direction, water depth, and the surrounding terrain. And once the plane aligned, it starts the water scoping process. A special scope belt into the underside of the aircraft is lowered to the water surface as the plane glides over it. This exact action allows the scoop to gather a large amount of water, filling the internal tank in just a few seconds. The process is carefully controlled to ensure the tank is filled to its ideal capacity without affecting the plane's balance and performance. With the water tank filled, the pilot pulls back the scoop and skillfully clamps, transitioning the plane into departure mode. The CL-415 then flies straight toward the fire, navigating through tough conditions such as thick smoke, high heat, and potentially unstable air. The trip requires precise conditions and constant communication with ground crews to find the best drop zone. As the aircraft nears the target area, the water drop is carried out. The pilot releases the water from the tank in a controlled way, making sure it hits the flames directly or land in nearby areas to stop and contain the fire. The timing and precision of the drop are crucial, as they help the operation as effective as possible while reducing risks to the surrounding environment. After the drop, the plane returns to the chosen water source to repeat the process. The cycle of scooping, departing, and dropping is repeated as needed, highlighting the CL-415's effectiveness and dependability in aerial firefighting. The entire operation demonstrates the plane's unique design and the skill of the crew, who work tirelessly to fight fires and protect communities. So here we reach the end of our video, ladies and gentlemen. If you liked the episode, please do not forget to like and subscribe. I'll see you in the next one, and take care.